The 1960s cracked open like a thunderclap. Televisions glowed with war and wonder, campuses stirred, and the needle dropping on vinyl felt like a key turning in a locked door. Records did not just soundtrack the decade, they challenged it, provoked it, and sometimes paid the price. Censors clipped choruses, stations pulled singles, headlines scolded, yet the music endured. So today, we're looking back at the 10 most controversial banned songs of the 1960s. Number 10, Leader of the Pack by the Shangri-Las. A teenage melodrama from 1964. It climbed to number 1 in America, but met resistance abroad. In Britain, the BBC banned it under their death disc policy, fearing glamorization of tragedy and juvenile rebellion.
I felt so helpless.
Producer George Shadow Morton shaped the song in the Brill Building, using revving engines, dialogue, and Mary Weiss's haunting vocal to tell a tragic story. Its mix of innocence and menace became irresistible to young listeners searching for danger.
What could I do?
Adults recoiled. Some claimed it glorified grief. Others said it trivialized death. Yet every band seemed to make it more alluring. Teenagers whispered the lyrics in hallways, giving the record a secretive, forbidden power.
As he drove away on that rainy night, I begged.
Tade, Leader of the Pack, remains a quintessential snapshot of 60s adolescence. Raw, fragile, and unforgettable. Its bans only confirmed what the kids already knew. The song belonged to them, not the censors. Number 9. Eve of Destruction by Barry Maguire.
I can't twist the truth, it knows no regulation.
Released in 1965, this gravel-voiced protest anthem tackled war, hypocrisy, and youth disenfranchisement. Many United States radio stations refused to play it, branding it unpatriotic. Yet controversy fueled its rise to number 1.
Think of all the hate there is in red.
Written by P.F. Sloan and rushed into recording with Maguire's raw vocal, the song was a blunt reminder of Cold War fear, civil rights struggles, and the draft looming over America's youth. Its urgency made it sound like a headline set to music.
You're dead, but don't leave a trace. Hey.
Critics called it reckless and inflammatory, while government figures condemned it outright. Yet teenagers connected instantly. The bands could not contain its spirit. Instead, they gave the song a rebellious mystique, marking it as truth-telling in an age of doubt.
Can't you feel the fears I'm feeling today?
Today, Eve of Destruction stands as proof that pop music could confront uncomfortable realities head-on. Its controversy was its legacy, reminding listeners that sometimes the loudest voice of a generation comes wrapped in 3 minutes of defiance.
I'm sitting here, just contempt.
Number 8, Louie Louie by the Kingsmen. A rough garage rock recording from 1963 sparked national panic when garbled lyrics were rumored obscene. Investigations found nothing, yet many stations banned it, proving how raw teenage noise could frighten authority figures. Originally written by Richard Berry in the 1950s, the song was given a raucous, almost sloppy interpretation by the Kingsmen. Jack Ely's slurred vocal, recorded in a single take, created the myth that scandalous lines were hidden within. Parents filed complaints, newspapers fanned the fire, and even the FBI launched an investigation, combing through the lyrics line by line. After months of scrutiny, officials declared the song unintelligible, proving the fears had been nothing more than paranoia. What censorship failed to stop was its spirit. Teenagers blasted Louie Louie at parties, delighting in the chaos. It was not obscene words that scared adults. It was the sound of youthful energy breaking free, wild, and uncontainable. Number 7, 8 Miles High by the Byrds. In 1966, soaring guitars captured disorientation of overseas travel. Interpreted as a drug anthem, major American stations banned it. The Byrds denied the claim, but the controversy pushed it toward counterculture legends. Written by Gene Clark, Roger McGuinn, and David Crosby, the song drew on a turbulent trip to London. Its jazz-inspired guitar lines and droning textures mirrored the unsettled feeling of dislocation, giving rock a new experimental vocabulary. The ban came quickly. The line 8 miles high was assumed to reference drug use. Despite the band's insistence, it described altitude and jet lag. Stations feared backlash, silencing the record on mainstream playlists at the height of its momentum. Ironically, censorship cemented its reputation. Underground stations and college audiences embraced it, elevating 8 miles high into a touchstone of psychedelic rock. What radio dismissed as dangerous, listeners recognized as groundbreaking, a track that pushed pop toward uncharted skies. Number 6, God Only Knows by the Beach Boys. From the 1966 masterpiece Pet Sounds, this tender ballad drew pushback for using God in its title. Some stations banned it, uneasy easy with sacred language and pop. Listeners embraced it nonetheless.
God only knows what I'd be with.
Written by Brian Wilson and Tony Asher, the song featured Carl Wilson's pure vocal and lush orchestration. It felt spiritual, even prayerful in its vulnerability. A love song stripped of bravado, relying on honesty instead of teenage swagger. At the time, broadcasters feared mixing religion and romance, worried the casual mention of God would offend. Instead, the restraint and reverence made it resonate more deeply, revealing the Beach Boys' ambition to elevate pop into an art form. Decades later, God Only Knows is celebrated as one of the greatest love songs ever recorded. What some once viewed as controversial has become timeless proof that sincerity, even cloaked in controversy, can carry music beyond its moment. Number 5, The Ballad of John and Yoko by the Beatles.
The way things are going.
A 1969 chronicle of marriage, travel, and protest, it faced bans for its repeated references to Christ. Many United States stations pulled it, yet it topped charts in Britain, fueling debate.
58 goes tied in a sack.
John Lennon wrote the song as a running diary, capturing his and Yoko Ono's wedding in Gibraltar, their honeymoon bed-in for peace, and the constant press scrutiny. Recorded quickly with only John and Paul in the studio, it carried an urgent, personal energy.
Talking in our beds for a week.
The lyric, "Christ, you know it ain't easy," ignited controversy. In America, many stations banned it for perceived blasphemy. Yet Lennon defended the line as honesty, reflecting the weight of public judgment pressing on his relationship.
The way things are going.
Though divisive, the song's wit and candidness gave it staying power. Rather than a polished anthem, it offered a snapshot of a cultural icon navigating love and backlash. Its controversy only emphasized Lennon's refusal to separate art from lived experience.
Eating chocolate cake in a bag.
Number 4, A Day in the Life by the Beatles.
And though the holes were rather small.
Closing Sgt. Pepper's in 1967, its orchestral crescendos and whispered "Turn You On" drew censorship for perceived drug references. Bans followed, but its enduring power outlived any airwave restrictions.
They'd seen his face before. Nobody.
The song combined John Lennon's dreamy verses inspired by newspaper headlines with Paul McCartney's brisk middle section about everyday routine. The final orchestral swell, ending with a piano chord that seemed to last forever, became one of rock's most ambitious statements.
Fell out of bed, dragged a comb across my.
Censors focused on the phrase, "I'd love to turn you on," claiming it encouraged drug use. Yet the Beatles insisted the song was about life's fragments, the mundane, the tragic, the absurd, stitched together with music's transformative power.
4,000 holes in Blackburn Lang.
What radio bans ignored was the song's artistry. It was not simply a track, it was an experience. A Day in the Life remains proof that music could mirror life itself, ordinary moments elevated into timeless art.
How many holes it takes to fill the album hole?
Number 3. Street Fighting Man by the Rolling Stones. Released in 1968, its raw acoustic energy mirrored unrest in city streets. United States stations banned it, fearing riots. The sparseness only heightened its edge, sounding like revolution recorded in an alley. Keith Richards built the track on an acoustic riff pushed through overloaded tape machines, giving it a gritty power unmatched by electric guitars. Mick Jagger's lyrics reflected protest movements erupting across the globe, echoing the turbulence of the time. When American cities saw real unrest that year, program directors panicked. They feared the song might act as fuel for demonstrations already burning hot. Pulling it from playlists was a way of trying to contain a spirit that could not be silenced. Instead, Street Fighting Man grew in stature. Fans embraced it as a soundtrack for resistance, a reminder that even stripped-down music could sound like a call to arms. Its ban only deepened its legend as a rebel anthem. Number 2. White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. This 1967 psychedelic march wove Lewis Carroll imagery into warnings about double standards. Banned for supposed drug messages, it became a counterculture anthem, daring listeners to question authority with allegory. Grace Slick penned the song after nights immersed in jazz and Spanish boleros. Building on Ravel's Bolero, the arrangement rose steadily, climaxing in a defiant call. Feed your head. It was hypnotic, theatrical, and impossible to ignore. Radio Censor, unsettled by its references to pills and mushrooms, banned it as thinly veiled drug advocacy. Yet Slick argued it was about parental hypocrisy. Children grew up on fairy tales filled with strange potions, only to be told later to obey. Audiences embraced White Rabbit as both satire and rallying cry. Its bans only heightened its aura, making it the soundtrack of the late 60s underground. Today, its steady crescendo still captures a generation's demand to think, question, and awaken. Number 1. The End by the Doors. A brooding 1967 epic, it shocked with Oedipal overtones and whispered menace. Many stations banned it outright, but live performances made it infamous. A song that crossed boundaries with theatrical audacity.
Birds do set you free.
Originally conceived as a breakup song, The End evolved into an 11-minute odyssey. Jim Morrison's hypnotic delivery, backed by Robbie Krieger's serpentine guitar and John Densmore's restless drumming, turned the track into an unsettling journey through love, loss, and darkness.
Hey, look out, there's somebody coming, and there's nothing you can do about it.
The whispered line invoking an Oedipal act was too much for censors. Radio programmers balked, and many venues hesitated to host the band. Yet in concert, Morrison stretched the piece into a ritual. Part poetry reading, part exorcism. The band's only deepened its aura. Audiences flocked to witness its raw power, where music blurred into theater and confession. The End endures not just as a song, but as an unflinching statement that art's role is to disturb, provoke, and haunt. Looking back, these banned songs remind us how fragile the boundaries of the 1960s really were. Music was more than entertainment. It was a spark, a mirror, and sometimes a threat to the status quo. Censors tried to silence it, yet every ban only amplified the power of the record spinning on a turntable. These tracks captured rebellion, heartbreak, and discovery, speaking truths too raw for radio but unforgettable to those who listened. They endure because they touched the untouchable, daring to say what others would not. That is why they remain alive today, not as relics, but as living echoes of a generation's spirit. If you felt transported back in time, like this video and subscribe for more journeys through music's golden years. Share your favorite 60s anthem in the comments. Until next time, keep the music playing.